It is a Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we're going live today. Welcome to the Big Auntie Energy Show. I am Shanice, your host of this wonderful new iteration of my YouTube channel. I'm live streaming today, live, like it's happening right now here on YouTube. I'll be going live on Twitch and Facebook very soon. So this will actually be the last week that I'm just going to be going live on YouTube. Next week, we're going to be live on Twitch and Facebook, so everybody can see me on all platforms. But I appreciate you being here at a different time than our usual 7 o'clock, but at 8 o'clock here. But I'm excited. We have so much to talk about. I have so many topics, but I'm going to jump right in. I want to say hello to all of those who are coming in, who are watching from wherever, or if you are watching the replay, again, hey. So we are going to just go ahead and jump right in with this week's topics. So this week thus far. The first one, this is a really interesting news story that I saw on Blavity. And not on Blavity, but on Travel Noir. And it is Christian Cooper is getting his own Nat Geo show. So if you don't remember who Christian Cooper is, 2 years ago, we remember when the George Floyd murder happened. On that same day, an African-American man by the name of Christian Cooper was in New York bird watching. And he was telling a woman to put her dog on a leash. It was the law. There were signs. And he was well within his rights to let this woman know, like, hey, your dog is wandering around. Put her on a leash. Of course, most of us know what happened in that viral video, which is this Karen just continued to go full Karen. And this was also at the exact same time that the George Floyd murder was happening. And it was national news because of that. Well, 2 years later, National Geographic has decided to give Christian Cooper his own show, and it's called Extraordinary Birds. And they are going to be going all around the world following Christian Cooper as he goes bird watching and celebrating different birds in different countries. And they haven't decided when the show is going to air, but it will be on Nat Geo and, of course, on Disney+. You just click on that National Geographic's button. This, to me, was very exciting news because one thing I do love about National Geographic's and the Travel Channel and a lot of travel shows is because I love to travel. I love seeing new countries, new places, new people, new experiences, because I just add that to my travel list. So I am very excited about this story, to see where Christian Cooper ends up going on this extraordinary bird watching show. And I will absolutely be following this show to get updates and letting you guys know when this will be going live. So our next topic of conversation that I thought was very interesting is Neve Campbell is done with the Scream franchise. So for many people who may be into horror movies, I personally am not a big horror movie. Scream is a huge franchise. We've known it to be around since like the 90s. I remember when Scream first came out, and then of course the mockumentary, style movies of it, which the Wayans brothers did. But Scream has been really popular. I personally, when I saw that Neve Campbell was trending, I wasn't 100% sure as to why. But what was really interesting is not that she's just leaving the Scream franchise, especially after the last Scream movie that came out last year did really well. I think it did about $140+ million, which is very well, especially as a lot of people were starting to go back to theaters. But the reason why she is leaving the franchise has nothing to do with her liking her role or reprising her role, but because of money and salary negotiations. I'm going to pull up a part of the article that I thought was really interesting as it pertains to why she is not coming back. So I'm going to read this, and I'm going to do my best because I don't have my glasses on. But according to Deadline, which of course Isn't showing up. Okay. According to Deadline, she says, and I quote, "Word began to leak. Word began to leak on the convention circuit that Campbell was not going to be coming back. And as she said, sadly, I won't be making the next Scream film. As a woman, I've had to work extremely hard in my career to establish my value, especially when it comes to Scream." The actress says about her turning in the $744 million plus grossing global franchise. So this franchise has brought in almost $1 billion, right? Worldwide. I felt the offer that was presented to me did not equate to the value that I have brought to the franchise. It's been a very difficult decision to move on. To all of my Scream fans, I love you. You've always been so incredibly supportive to me. I'm forever grateful to you and to what this franchise has given me over the past 25 years. So this franchise has been around for 25 years. I definitely remember being a kid, being in middle school, and the first Scream came out, and it was such a big movie. But she is leaving because of money. The reason why I have this as one of my trending topics, because we need to make sure ladies, especially ladies, know your value. I love that Neve Campbell has come out and said, look, yes, this is a big franchise. I've been lucky and blessed to be a part of it for 25 years. But the money you guys are offering me, that ain't the dollars. And that definitely don't make sense. I love that she's open about this. We've started to see a lot more women open about their salary. We've seen Queen Viola Davis talk about being paid her worth, the same as the likes of a Meryl Streep. We've seen Reese Witherspoon talk about not only understanding her value, but the value of other women who are on set or in movies that she does. We've even seen some male actors who have come out and talked openly about wage discrimination, making sure their female co-stars and counterparts are being paid the same amount or more because of their worth, and also with diversity hires. So I love this for Neve Campbell. I think there is nothing wrong with walking away from situations when you know that people don't value you. If you decide to stay, then all that does is make it harder for you to ask for more, negotiate for more, and probably the value of other women and other people of color on that staff is going to be devalued for this. So shout out to Neve Campbell. Congratulations. And she is, of course, not without work. Like, sis is in a whole bunch of other stuff. So her pockets ain't hurting. But I think it's extremely commendable that she is walking away from this franchise, especially because they are lowballing her. We don't got time for that. So next. All money is not good money. I got to put that up there because what is really true about this. And thank you, Marjories, for being here. And I just want to say, can I do a personal shout out? Thank you so much. I have seen you on so many other great YouTubers channels, and I appreciate the support and the heads up and the tips that you gave me on Twitter. I really, really do appreciate it. But like you said, all money is not good money, and it is important for artists like Neve Campbell and so many more to understand their value, understand their worth, and if they're not paying you, bye, especially when you got other checks coming through. But that also makes others understand that, hey, you're gonna have to pay Neve Campbell if you want her on your movie. So y'all better get it together. So the next topic of conversation I have is Meghan Markle and Prince Harry news. I decided to bundle this because at first I was going to talk about how amazing Meghan Markle looked when they were at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in England, as they've been celebrating all week. I'm not a big fan of the royal family. That's not my thing, but I love all things Meghan and Harry. Harry was always my favorite prince growing up. I love the red hair. He's always been kind of that out of the norm, out of the huge. And so I've always loved them. But they did two things this past week that just literally caught my attention. Number one, they looked absolutely amazing at church when they were celebrating Thanksgiving, which is a part of the Platinum Jubilee. But the other really big newsworthy headline that happened was they finally showed a picture of their beautiful daughter, Lilibet. And I have to show y'all this picture because she is absolutely adorable. Look at her. She is absolutely adorable. She just turned 1 year old, and like her dad and her brother, she has this beautiful head full of red hair. She's just so cute. Like most people, you just see those cheeks and you just want to squeeze them. But this family is just doing it. I love that they are setting their own rules. That's why I call them the American royals, because as we know, they live here in the States, but they are always and forever will be royals. But this is the cutest photo. Where is it? Right here, of the baby, who is absolutely freaking darling. So they were just making headlines. Of course, people were hating on Meghan in the UK, but we already know what that's about. But nonetheless, the couple still looks stunning. They were, of course, there to celebrate Queen Elizabeth, and they did it very low key. But at the end of the day, releasing this photo of their daughter, I mean, gorgeous. So shout outs to Meghan and Harry. Come on home to the States. We'll appreciate you a little bit more. And of course, more pictures of the kids. They're absolutely cute. Next one is going to be the topic everyone has been talking about, which is Lori Harvey and MichaelBJordan officially call it quits. When I first did this, I was going to put allegedly, but from the time I started putting this show together to today, it's pretty official now. They have officially called it quits. Many people are speculating that it was a mutual breakup, that Michael wanted a little bit more in the relationship, especially on the lines of marriage and being a little serious, and that Lori was just looking to have a good time in dating. I have seen both sides of it. I will be going live on Instagram after this show with two of my homegirls, and we are actually going to do a deeper dive into a lot of the negative criticism, specifically towards Lori Harvey, about her dating life. But what I will say here is that Lori Harvey is 25, MichaelBJordan is 35. She is a young lady dating, and I think that if you are upfront when you are dating someone and you are letting them know how you feel about where you want to go in this thing, there is absolutely nothing wrong with calling it quits when it is time to call it quits. Both of these human beings are absolutely gorgeous. Everyone knows that MichaelBJordan is a heartthrob, and Lori Harvey is just drop dead gorgeous. Both of them will bounce back and recover, especially out in Hollywood. But it was great to watch them. They were absolutely cute together. Seeing all of the wonderful dates that Michael would do for her, especially in the aquarium. I'm a big water person. It was just cute to see. It absolutely was. And yes, they were goals, but now they are split. So, of course, you know, Michael, I'm single and 35 and love dates at the aquarium myself. So if you ever want to, just go ahead and slide in my DMs at any point in time. But yes, they have officially called it quits. And I will say this, they will be absolutely fine. But nonetheless, make sure you head over to my Instagram. Information for my Instagram is in the bio of this. You can always follow me. But yes, we are going to go deeper. We're diving a little deeper. I'm going to have me a little beverage as me and my girlfriends talk deeper about this MichaelBJordan and Lori Harvey situation. But they will be fine. Last but not least, Disney Plus is giving us, hold on, I got a comment. How in the world? Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna be honest. The platform I use, I really don't like. This is the last week I'm using this platform because I cannot get my comments to be bigger and be able to see them on the screen. So I'm gonna read it for you. Sorry, Mara, I literally do not know why all of a sudden I can't see them. Anyways, she's getting good counsel. Know when it's not for you and move on. Wiping your social media is brilliant, though. This is the thing about wiping your social media, and I'm going to dive into this. I think it is peak petty to scrub your social media after breakups. It's hilarious to me because to me that means you are going back and saying this person did not exist and it's all about me. I love it. It's like doing a full clean slate. personally, I do not put my love interests or people that I'm dating on social media because of that reason right there. It's because, like, I'm not going back and scrubbing all of that. I'm not going to take down all of my WCWs or MCMs. But what I find so funny, especially sometimes like friends who get divorced, that scrubbing, pure comedy. Pure comedy, but I'm here for all of it. And again, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. Oh, this is my boo. Hey, Harvey, this is our girl Phaedra, who has a birthday coming up. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday, Phaedra. I love it. Like I said, whenever you're dating and you sit here and get the scrubbing, they didn't exist. And that gives you a good opportunity when people are like, oh, well, what happened to your boyfriend? You're like, who? What boyfriend? I don't know what you, I don't know who you're referring to. That's how I go with it. That's how I go with it. You're gone. You're just gone. So last news story is going to be Disney is giving us Obi-Wan Kenobi and Miss Marvel. I am a huge Disney Plus fan. I was one of the first people who got it. I was all in, especially because when they started Disney Plus, they started showing with The Mandalorian. Huge Star Wars fans. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. My mom was a huge Star Wars fan. She saw it when she was in high school. So I grew up always loving Star Wars, loving the Marvel movies. Don't read the comics at all, honestly. I Wikipedia the comics. But one thing I love about Disney Plus is their series, they generally go kind of back and forth, a little Star Wars, a little Marvel, but they give you time in between. I thought it was absolutely wild that they said, not only are you going to get Obi-Wan with Ewan McGregor, who I am absolutely in love with, but we're also giving you Miss Marvel, which dropped today. I have not seen Miss Marvel yet. And like I said last week, I will be having friends on where we will be talking all things Marvel, all things Star Wars, and we'll do some movie reviews and conversations about it. But I don't believe in spoiling it. So I decided, even though it dropped today, the new episode of Obi-Wan and the first episode of Miss Marvel, I said I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to be tempted to spoil it. This series is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to see the story of Kamala Khan, but I have absolutely been enjoying Obi-Wan. Now, the last Star Wars series that we got was the Book of Boba Fett. And if you are a Star Wars fan and you watch Book of Boba Fett, I think generally everyone felt the same, which was the first 3 episodes, it was like slower and slowest. And until the Mandalorian showed up, it was like, and we're back. I was really excited about Book of Boba Fett. I truly was. But those first few episodes, I mean, good God, it was slow. Obi-Wan, I feel, has a better tone. We're getting a really good story and we're still getting really good action because Darth Vader has already showed up. I would say spoiler alert, but I feel like everybody should know that by now. Like, they didn't hide that Hayden Christensen is back as Darth Vader. But Obi-Wan has been absolutely great. But the fact that they're doing 2 Disney Plus shows at the same time, specifically 2 big ones in the Marvel Universe and Star Wars, I just wasn't ready for this. I wasn't prepared at all, but I'm absolutely loving it. As the Obi-Wan series concludes, I'm going to have some of my really good friends who are Star Wars fans. We're going to talk all things Obi-Wan and how it fits into the Star Wars lore. And of course, again, we are going to be doing some Miss Marvel, but that is what's going to tie me in. So Faye just says, I don't know where to start. It's one of those, if I put it right here with my shirt, maybe you can see it better. I don't know where to start. I'm going to tell you this, just watch it all. I have nothing to do Saturday. So Saturday's your birthday. But anyways, watch it all. Just got to watch it all. But this also leads me into my main topic today, which I am going to be very honest. I was a little disheartened to see this. So if you are, like I said, a Star Wars fan, Obi-Wan has already started, and one of the main characters, who's the villain, is played by an actress called Moses Ingram. Last week, from E-Man's movie reviews, his name is Emmanuel Noisette, E-Man movie reviews, you can check out. I think I have the link in the bio, and if I don't, I'm going to add it. But on his Instagram, he reposted a video that Ewan McGregor put out, basically saying that there were Star Wars fans who were being racist towards Moses Ingram, who is the African-American woman who plays the lead villain outside of Darth Vader, but she's one of the lead characters and lead villains in this new series. Now, Moses Ingram is a young woman. She's originally from Baltimore. So, of course, that, that the Maryland girl in me just had to cape for her. But Ewan McGregor pretty much addressed the fact that she was receiving a lot of crazy, racist, sexist, and just destructive comments about her, her character that she's portraying in this series. I wanted to bring this up because when I saw the video, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what exactly are Star Wars fans being upset about because she's the villain and she's black? Because number one, this is Star Wars. Star Wars takes place in a galaxy far, far away. This is fiction. This is not reality. And most importantly, this is not a character that has probably been written any other color. Specifically in Star Wars, they could be blue, they could be purple, they could literally not speak English. Moses is a great actress, and if you look at her resume, if you look at her Wikipedia page, the girl's got the acting chops. I think she went to Yale. So for people to attack her, I really was confused because I went with why her, why this character, and why in this series. Specifically because Disney has been making a very concentrated effort for diversity in all of their films and in all of their characters. If you look at Disney from the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s, there aren't a lot of diverse characters. I mean, hell, if you look at the first phase of Marvel movies, there really weren't even any black superheroes until we finally saw Black Panther, right? Well, that's different. If it was written in the comics a certain way, of course, they want actors to portray it a certain way. But Star Wars is different. Star Wars is different because, again, it happens in space, in outer space. There are characters who are voiced by several different type of actors, right? Specifically, Darth Vader. Darth Vader in the 70s has been voiced by James Earl Jones, a black man. And even when the helmet came off and we knew it was a white man, he was still voiced by a black man. But it didn't matter. It has never mattered. I don't ever remember seeing Star Wars fans bitch or complain about Vader's voice being by a black man, i.e. James Earl Jones. So why all of a sudden are people hating on Moses? I legit do not understand it. Not only that, like I said, Disney has not only made an effort for diversity, but Disney has opened the floodgates for it. We have seen it in Cruella and Beauty and the Beast, where they have openly gay or LGBTQ plus characters. We have seen it in the movie Onward. If you've ever seen the movie Onward, it's a really cute Pixar movie, but there are scenes where they're in high school and you see kids with the rainbow and the trans buttons. You see kids who are handicapped in this high school scene. They're making a concerted effort to be inclusive. We also see it with The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They talked heavily about race issues. And we also know what has happened, the announcement with Halle Bailey in the upcoming live action Little Mermaid movie. Now, I understood why people were upset about that. That was cool. But when it comes to things like Star Wars, the racism, I really just cannot understand it. I love the fact that Moses put people out there. This was something that needed to be talked about, needed to be addressed. I love that Ewan McGregor, who is also an executive producer on this new Obi-Wan Kenobi show, he openly spoke out about it, and it truly sounded like he felt that in his heart. And of course, other Star Wars executives and other actors have also stood in support. I will definitely shout out Brandon Keith Avery, who has an amazing channel, which I love to watch, which is Just My Opinion Reviews. I will again add his channel to the description below. We had a really great conversation the other day about this He created a great hashtag, which is we stand with Moses. I also have retweeted that. I stand with Moses. She's an amazing actress. I have legitimately no clue why they attacked her. They didn't even attack Giancarlo Esposito when he was in The Mandalorian. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But it does affect me specifically when I see amazing actresses getting amazing opportunities and they look like me and they deserve the same amount of respect as everyone else. So hashtag we stand with Moses. We stand with Moses. And I'm going to leave that there. So check out this series. Again, you can check out E-Man's movie reviews or just my opinion to get a little more detail about this subject. But we are going to move on. Let's see what's in the chat. Okay, don't know where to start, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so everyone's a Trekkie. See, I'm not as into Star Trek. So here we have it. It's not all of a sudden every non-white character in Star Wars has had an issue. It's the fandom. And I think that's where we have to figure out what's going on. Like, what's happening with this Star Wars fandom? I don't get it. And I feel like at some point in time over the 40 plus years that Star Wars has been out, why is this still a thing? Like, I don't get why it's still a thing. They got to get better. Okay, and Alicia, hey, from New York. Yes, you do. Yeah, look, it's a mess. I say I don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. So we are going to move right on into the Ask Your Auntie, Ask Your Homegirl session. But today, we're going to do Ask Your Homegirl because I have two things that came, two advice questions that have come from some friends of mine. One of which is one of my younger guy friends. I call him my little brother. He's out in LA. And he really is the sweetest person, but he put this on Twitter and he asked my advice, which is about flirting with older women. So my really good friend, I will call him Bob. Bob was out at the library and he was helping an older woman who was having a little issue with the technology. He, of course, helped her because he's a film student. So he helped her out. And afterwards, they were having a nice conversation. And he said that during the conversation, she lightly touched his arm. And he felt that she was flirting with him. He said they had a really great conversation. But even during it, she had mentioned her daughter. So he thought that maybe she was trying to, like, put her daughter on and be like, oh, you should meet my daughter. She's really sweet, X, Y, and Z. He said, but she kept then talking about herself and, how nice he was and so charismatic, all this other stuff. So he goes, well, I started to feel uncomfortable because then it seemed like she was definitely hitting on him as the conversation continued on. And he said, well, it was nice meeting you. I hope you have a great day. He says he walks away, turns back a little bit, sees that she's checking him out and that, he was looking at her a little bit, but he felt like she gave him the like sexy eyes, and he said he continued to walk, but he doesn't know if she was flirting or not and if he should have flirted back. I told him, I was like, here is my homegirl advice for you, Bob. I said, a lot of times older women, if they are flirting with you, they're going to make it known, and if they want you, they're going to go after it. The older you get, the less likely you are to give mixed signals, the less likely you are to kind of linger things on or let things last longer than they should. But most importantly, you're going to be very, very direct. Now, granted, Bob is in his early 30s. He's always been kind of awkward. Even when I first met him when we were in college, he was just kind of this scrawny, awkward kind of kid. But he's definitely grown and bloomed into his, what I like to call his grown man phase. And so he is definitely getting more attention than he is used to getting. I told him, I said, look, if you're interested, especially with the older woman, the direct way is always the right way. 100%. Just be direct. If you were feeling this woman, this mature woman, and you feel like she was feeling you, you should have said, well, hey, maybe we can take this conversation to the coffee house, or maybe grab a drink or grab a quick bite to eat. Don't always worry, because now that you're in the car, y'all didn't exchange numbers. And yes, older women are going to exchange numbers. Don't ask them for no Instagram, no Facebook. No. They're not going to do all that. You got to ask them for their number and maybe even write it down. But if that's what you're feeling, you have to go after. I told him you cannot continuously be timid. Though women nowadays, especially older women, are definitely going after what they want, taking your time to figure out the signs and unsure and kind of tiptoeing around it, you're going to be single forever. You're going to be single forever. So I told him, as your homegirl, as an older homegirl friend, you got to go after it. If she was flirting, trust me, she probably would have just told you straight up, young man, what's your number? Let me write it down. Other than that, you just got to go for it. No time like the present to go after what it is you want. So hold on, let me look at the comments. Okay, yeah, she was. I agree. I told him, I was like, I was like, if you gotta ask, she absolutely was probably flirting with you. Cause I was like, well, why was she asking you for help at the library compared to the librarians who work there? I don't know if the libraries are full all of a sudden and you were the only person around, but yeah, if I need help with something in a store, I'm going to ask whoever works there. So she was absolutely flirting with him, but he's real clueless. Like oh God, no. He's a very like clueless type of dude. So I wasn't shocked that he told me this and that he shared it in this long thread, but I was like, yeah, you should have talked to her. Like if she was flirting, you should have you gotta shoot your shot. He gonna mess her at being scary. Yes, she could have been a real nice lady. She could have cooked him a home cooked meal. And look at him out here being scared, being terrified. And now look at him, hungry at home by himself. And that's what I said. I was like, look, here's the funny thing. She ain't need no help. The funny thing was he literally goes, yeah, she was trying to print something or whatever, and she needed help with the print. I'm going to tell you, I was like, this is how I knew. I was like, she probably wanted you. He was saying, where's that tweet? If I find it on Twitter, I'm going to show you. But he literally said that she needed help with the printer or something was going on with the printer. And he didn't even know. This is one thing an older woman knows is how to work a printer. We know how to work a printer. I was a school teacher for 2 years, and I'm going to tell you one thing I know is everything about a printer. I know how to copy on both sides. I know how to copy with holes and where to put the staple in. I know how to copy different lengths and size of paper, cardstock versus your regular 8.5 times 11. We know printers. Older people, like these young kids, probably have no clue. If he said she was 25, if it was Lori Harvey who needed help with a printer, I'd be like, okay, no, she really might have needed help. If this woman is 40 plus, she know how to work a printer. She know how to work a printer. She knows how to debug a printer. I know how to take the cartridges out of a printer and put it back in and make sure that thing is working. We know how to work printers. We know how to work printers. That's one thing we do know. Trying to get help with a printer. Like, really? And I don't know why he act like he didn't know, because we went to school together when we did have printers in the library and them things were always jammed. So he playing. She did not need no help, especially with a printer. I forgot to add that, but it was with the printer. She didn't need no help with the printer. She knew what she was doing. She thought she was cute. Like I said, my friend, he got a little grown man thickness going on, got the little mustache. She knew what was going on. She just wanted him. So that was my homegirl advice. I know he's going to see this a little later because he is actually working right now. He's out in LA. But yes, my homegirl advice is you got to shoot your shot. If you think she was flirting and you were feeling the vibes, she absolutely was. Her asking for help with a printer is BS. she knows how to work a printer. But definitely, you guys got to shoot your shot, especially even if they're older women. So my next extra homegirl advice actually comes from one of my really good friends. At one point, we were talking about doing a podcast or a show together, but it started because she needed advice about her friends group. So as women, a lot of us have our friends group chat. It could be some of your friends from high school, college, post-college, your friend group when y'all went on a trip together. We all have different random group chats in different random group chat areas. And we all know, especially when you got those group chat with that one person with an Android. But yes, so she came to me and she's like, look, I'm just in this weird position where like, I wish we could have like a group chat or like a podcast or a show or something where we could talk about real women issues without being judged, specifically being a single woman in a group chat or with friends who are all either mothers or wives or both, where, you know, it's a judgment-free zone and all this stuff. And I told her, I was like, well, I don't have that issue. I have group chats with my girlfriends, with girlfriends and guy friends, and some are married, some aren't. I have group chats with people who have kids, some who don't. Most of my friends don't have kids, but we've always created a safe space for anyone to come in and say anything and get advice. But she's been having a difficult issue because in her group chat, most of her friends are not single and don't have, you know, most of them do have kids. And so she doesn't have a really safe space to find friends where she can have these homegirl conversations. So the question then came up, which is, what do you do when you're that last friend or the odd man out of your group chat? She's the odd person out. So of all of these women, she doesn't have anyone like her who is single or childless, or, you know, if not both, where she feels like she can express herself without being judged. And so my homegirl advice to her was, number one, address the elephant in the room. If these are your friends specifically, and I know these friends too, because we all went to school together, but I was like, if these are your friends, y'all have been friends forever, you don't want to lose that friendship. Naturally, you are going to grow apart because their time is now being taken by their husbands, by their kids, by both. So I was like, number one, you have to address it. You have to address the elephant in the room with them, which is, hey, I feel like what used to be a safe space is no longer a safe space for me. And it would be nice if we can have those times and those moments together where we can have girl talk like we used to before the kids and the husband came. And I said the second thing you're going to have to do, which is very, 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 very scary for women of our age, is that you have to find new friends. So this is going to be a little controversial, right? Because the idea of finding new friends, especially when you are over 30 or you are a woman of a certain age, can be very daunting, right? These are friends you've had for over a decade, some people 2 decades. And the idea of trying to find a new friend group can be very, very uncomfortable. But outside of addressing it, you have to figure out where your new tribe is. For me, I have found my tribe online. So I love to travel, but the frequency of my travel and how I was traveling specifically last year, a lot of my very close friends, we didn't travel together because we all have crazy schedules. So I found a community of women who enjoy traveling. And in that, I was able to make friends online. We had big group meetups in our cities. We had group meetups based off of where we want to move or where we want to travel or have traveled. And through that, I've been able to find a really great community where I can be myself. I can make new friends. I can go to meetups. And I can also still feel comfortable in those settings. It's not that I've gotten rid of any of my friends. My friends are right here in the same group chat. But it was really great because I was able to find my people, and it was able to kind of supplement what I wasn't able to get from all of my other group chats or all of my other friends because they were busy. I had mentioned this to her because she is extremely creative and she has and she lives in a pretty big city where I'm like, girl, first off, just go outside, go to the bar. Like, you will meet people. But she's also pretty social. But it's extremely scary, especially when you're a person of a certain age or a woman of a certain age, to open yourself up to new friends. Another advice I would give, or homegirl advice, is there's an app called Bumble, which you can use for dates, but there's also a part of it that's called Bumble Friends. Now, disclaimer, I have a friend who used Bumble Friends. We met that Bumble friend, and that friend was kind of weird. So I would not highly recommend using a dating app to find new friends, but it's an option. The last thing I would say is you have to reach out to your networks. We all went to college together. I'm like, girl, reach out to people in your college network, especially alumni associations. Go to alumni association meetings. You'll end up meeting other people where you guys have one great thing in common, which is we all went to college together. If you're in a sorority, you can do it. If you're in a community service organization, you can do it. If you're in a bowling club, you can do it. I told her, I said, even though these friends are always going to be there, they're also not fulfilling your needs. And we all need friends. We all need that contact. I love being in online community, specifically on YouTube, about Marvel movies and movie and entertainment news. And I'm able to chat with other people from all over because it's just fun. And that's another way I can find a sense of community. So I would say homegirl advice to not only my friend, but any other woman specifically who's looking for their community. There are so many out there. You can find them on YouTube, Facebook. You can go out into your community to find different niches. My sister Sierra's in here. She will even tell you, like, we've known each other forever, but she has her own community, specifically in her professional life. I have some in my professional life. Our friends are always going to be there. They're our heart, they're our soul. It's never going to stop. But it is so important that you don't latch on so much that you end up feeling completely isolated. If there's anything that 2020 taught us, is that building community is so important, and building community in person is no longer the only option. You can find so many great communities online of people who are super, super, super dope. And so, look, so Sierra says group chats can go crazy. Look, our group chats, look, we in a few of them. It can get wild. But again, when that group chat starts to fail you, sometimes you have to think outside of the box. I never thought in a million years I would be friends with women. I decided to take Portuguese language classes last year. I know Portuguese, not a lot, enough to get to the bathroom and to ask how much, quanto é. But I have a really great friend from my Portuguese class who is all the way in Boston, who literally is about to retire. Like, one of my really good friends from Portuguese class is a 60-plus-year-old woman, and we love each other. We spend more time now talking about just life than we do actually learning Portuguese anymore. But I found her in that community. So there's so many great ways to really put yourself out there. And then that's how you then begin to gain community. So that's my advice. Those are two of my friends, and they'll probably see the replay because I don't see them on here online right now. But that is my Ask Your Homegirl advice on this Good Wednesday. So let me see what we have in the chats. We will not speak on that one. So look, we got a lot of group chats. We like all we got a group chat because we traveled. You know what's always funny about the group chats? When you have the group chat and then you got the group chat outside of the group chat, because some people in the group chat don't need to be in the full conversation of the group chat. I'm that person. I'm the messy one. I'm the one who goes, oh, okay, yeah. And then I'll be like, and exit and new chat. Did you see what this hoe just said? Oh, you ain't in there. Go ahead and see and come back. Okay, see, that bitch is stripper, right? That's me. I'm queen of the side conversations. I'm queen of the extra conversations in the group chat. I love it. It's okay. I love everybody, but that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So here we go. Marjorie says, I've met up with Twitter friends, even blue check friends. It's so fun. It really is. I never thought I would be that person. I never thought I would be that person. And I did that. I did the same thing, but for YouTube. I was on YouTube and we chatted and we all bonded, like I said, through travel. And we did a big meetup in Virginia and got great friends out of that. And we talk often and we talk on the phone. We talk via Instagram chat. I literally talked to a woman who I met through my travel group because we have a lot of travel interests and love travel. And we ended up talking for 2 hours on Sunday. That's my new friend. So yes, you got to step outside of the box. The pandemic showed us that that's what you got to do. So my last segment is going to be my Black woman moment. My Black woman moment is a time where I do a very quick rant about something that has bothered me and irritated me for this week. And today, my Black woman moment, I actually have two. I have a quick one and then I have another slightly kind of quick one. My first one is Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. I have 100 streaming services and I refuse to pay for any more. So what I like to do is barter my access. So, hey, I need Peacock. If you don't have Netflix, you can use my password. I can use your Peacock password, right? I love to barter. That's where I'm at right now. I feel like bartering passwords and profiles in different streaming services is just where it's at. So I have Amazon Prime and I want to correct myself. I don't have Amazon Prime. My mother has Amazon Prime and I use her Prime account to watch TV. So as we all know, P-Valley has come back and Amazon is like, oh yeah, watch P-Valley on us all the way till June 30th. Episodes are free via Amazon Video. So I'm like, cool. Saturday, I had my nephew, as you guys know, last week, send him off to his grandparents. I was free, like freedom. Okay. Like when I tell you real freedom, like dropping him off, I was like, yeah. Yes, I learned how to do. I learned how to do a sound effect. Do it one more time. I was free. My nephew was gone. And so I was like, oh, I'm about to go down to the valley where the girls get naked. I had my little drink, had my hookah set up, hit Amazon Prime Video. And what I like to do, especially because P-Valley was like 2 years ago, I like to watch the last episode before I go into the new episode of season 2. So I go in there and I'm like, okay, cool, P-Valley, here we go. Watch last episode. I was like, okay, I kind of remember what happened. Okay, I see where we're going. Season 2. And it was like, oh, you got to pay to see season 2. Amazon, if you say P-Valley is free, period, all of the episodes need to be free. Not just season 1, season 2 included. Because you then should have told me, hey, we have P-Valley season 1 for free. But that's not what y'all said. You said you got P-Valley for free. Your days are numbered, Amazon. And when I mean your days are numbered, I mean I don't have any control over if my mom is going to, continue to pay. So, yeah. Either way, I'm pissed. Amazon, that's not okay. That was one of my rants. And my last rant is very, very, very quick. It's a political rant. It is to President Joe Biden. If you do not get off of Twitter complaining about gun control and what we need to do, I'm going to slap you in the face. Dear Joe Biden, you are literally the only person with the pen and the ability to make changes to gun laws. You have that ability. You have executive power to make any of the changes you are talking about. I saw 5 tweets in the past week. We know about the horrendous mass shootings that have been happening over the past 2 weeks. But I have seen him do 5 tweets where he starts with his old Joe. who would have ever thought that you would have all of this terrible things happening and gun lobbyists are able to have so much control and we need to do something about it? Who is we? Who is we? I learned Portuguese and Spanish. I didn't learn French. Who is we? Because last time I checked, in November, I voted for you to do what you're supposed to do. Okay? Why are you on Twitter, sir? Why are you on Twitter telling us what we need to do? No, sir. You need to do that. It gives desperation. It gives Joe really might be losing it. And it's giving, I need you to do your job. Joe Biden and all of these other Congress people who are out here tweeting what we need to do, sir, that is what y'all get paid for. And the last I checked on my paycheck, y'all are getting a lot of my coin to be doing this job. I need y'all to do it. Get off Twitter telling us what we need to do, and you guys do it. That is it for my Black woman moment. I tried to keep it in 5 minutes. So I might have went over. But that Joe Biden stuff is really blowing me. Like, why are you coming to us on Twitter talking about what we need to do? And I'm like, sir, you have the ballpoint pen. You have the ballpoint pen. You literally have the ability to go online and with a stroke of the pen, do what you got to do. And that's what I need you to do. But that is our show. That is it for my Black woman moment. I was like, I had two, and I was really not going to do two, but I was like, nah, I got to do two because both of them was blowing me, and I had to get it out. And yes, the key word, here we go. Let me bring it right here. Raggedy. With the rolled R, raggedy. Just absolutely raggedy. And I need them to do better. Stop telling us what we need to do on Twitter. Y'all do it. I appreciate everyone who has showed up. This is a longer show than normal, but I'm not going to lie. I have some really, really great shows coming up over the next few weeks. I am actually going to have some of my really, really good friends come on, and we are going to have an absolute blast. Not only just talking, we're going to talk a little Star Wars. We're going to talk a little pop culture, maybe even talk a little sports, especially as the NBA finals are coming to an end. But this has been absolutely fun. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell their auntie to come on over on Wednesday night where we are here at the the Big Auntie Energy Show. You can follow me on IG at the Big Auntie Energy Show. I'm on Twitter at _BAE_show. Make sure you guys continue to support. I appreciate all that have showed up on this wonderful Wednesday evening. You guys can go and watch ESPN, watch the NBA finals. I'm still sticking with Boston in 7. I'm still sticking with it. Boston in 7. That's what I got. Everyone have a really, really great evening. This was absolutely fun. See ya.